team to take the consideration that we have. We appreciate his 4 years, but we can take that consideration and we can win in our minds more than had we gone the other route and signed him. That's not a negative on Micah. That's just unique to our circumstances. There was no question in our mind that Michael could bring us a lot of resources.
That's the only clip I have of the press conference. I mean, Jerry Jones is a very entertaining guy. I mean, man, as an Eagles fan, long live Jerry Jones, man. He made mistake after mistake after mistake. It seemed like soon as the NFL came up with the salary, mistake after mistake after mistake. We've been telling Cowboys fans this for years. Like, bro, there's no concern in your mind that 30 plus years or 30 years, y'all haven't been to the NFC Championship game. Forget the Super Bowl. Y'all haven't been to the NFC Championship game. And y'all got the right to brag and talk about how y'all America's team, this, that, and the third, when it's constantly malpractice to what's going on in Dallas. Let me say this, to be fair to Jerry Jones, he paid Dak, he paid Trayvon Diggs, he paid Ezekiel Elliott. Like, he paid guys for sure. But the problem is that there's no results. There were teams in Dallas, they had the best O-line, they had receivers, they had a top-tier defense, something similar to us. Hell, they even say in Dallas, Dak is the better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. But he could never get it done. He could never get it done. And that's why I think Jalen Hurts, or I know Jalen Hurts is better than Dak Prescott, because I can make a case, if you put Jalen Hurts on some of those Cowboys teams that they had in the past, Jalen Hurts gets you to at least an NFC Championship game. My personal opinion, I believe that. Hell, look at the results in Philadelphia and look at the results in Dallas. I'm just saying, man. And one of the things I try to step back and look at this, because in case you've been living under a rock, Micah Parsons, they's like, forget this. We're going to trade you. They trade him to the Green Bay Packers. This is the team where it was a big thing. Was it a catch against Dez? This was the team they choked against, 2 years ago. They traded him to that team. This is bad functioning stuff. Okay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is nowhere near the level of a Micah Parsons, right? Instead of us like sending him to a team in the NFC that's basically on the same goal as ours, we traded him to the AFC. We traded him to a competitive team, but on the AFC side, so we don't have to run into him. They traded him to the NFC to a team. Basically, it's like a rivalry there. Why would you trade him to a team y'all don't even like? And I tried to compare it, right? I'm like, dang, what if the Eagles ever traded, let's say when Devontae Smith was going through his contract stuff, right? And we decided to trade him to the 49ers. I will be pissed. It wouldn't be the fact that we traded Devontae Smith. If that was to ever happen, I would be pissed because we traded him to the 49ers. Because you look at the 49ers situation now, they going down. They really don't have any receivers. They traded away Deebo Samuels. Juwan Jennings is crying about a contract. And I believe Brandon Ayuk is on IR or something like that. A 4-game, 5-game, whatever IR. Why would we trade a top-tier player to a team we competing with, a team we don't like? Hell, we was doing things where 49ers can't get certain players. Right? We just did that recently. Us and the 49ers was fighting for John Mechie. We was like, you know what? Bring him to Philadelphia. We don't want him to go to the San Francisco 49ers because we don't fuck with them. Excuse my language. But you get my point. You don't do business with teams that you basically rivalry against in the NFC. You just don't do that. You don't make your division or conference better. Why would you do something like that? And y'all played on week 4. So it was 3 teams I thought about if the Eagles ever did business with them and traded out a top-tier guy to them, I would be crashing out. So one was the 49ers. The second team I thought about is the Rams. So say Jalen Carter contract is coming up and we can't afford him, right? I always believe in Howie Roseman. If he knew like, well, if we got to trade Jalen Carter to make this team better, because I'm trying to compare it, because Jerry Jones is saying the team will be better without Micah Parsons. Like, okay, cool. Say Mauro Jomo's having that type of year, we believe he could overtake Jalen Carter. There's no reason to pay him all that money, right? Let's say that happened for hypothetical reasons. I doubt that will happen, but let's say that will happen for hypothetical reasons. We're like, you know what, Jalen Carter, we can't afford you, but these teams are on a line that can pay you. This is like us trading Jalen Carter to the Rams. The Rams got their new Aaron Donald, who Aaron Donald said he's the replacement of him. Why would we do something like that? You don't trade a Jalen Carter to the Rams to make them better. And you know you got to go through the Rams to get to the Super Bowl. If Dallas is any way, type, form, or fashion competitive and they got to go up against the Green Bay Packers, you don't think Micah Parsons is going to be extra motivated to get them the hell out the way? And he been there through every practice, training camp, team meetings. So it's not like he don't know what's going on the offensive side of the ball or their defensive scheme. He could just feed the Green Bay Packers everything. So that's just bad business. And last but certainly not least, another team I would not want to do business with at all on the NFC side, this is not including the NFC East, of course, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's like, I'm trying to think of another guy contract coming up soon. Only big name I can think of is, let's use Mauro Jomo, for example. Mauro Jomo, contract coming up. He just had a phenomenal year. He's going to get paid hundreds of millions of dollars. And we're like, you know what, Mauro? We can't pay you that, but we're going to trade you to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why would we do something like that? Tampa Bay Buccaneers been giving us fits. You know, they knocked us out of the playoffs a couple times. And we're going to trade a top-tier defensive tackle there. No. If you had the opportunity to trade Mauro Jomo to get some assets back, you send them to the AFC side. Hassan Reddick is the perfect example, too. Hassan, we can't pay you, but, you know, we probably could find somebody that will. The Jets never paid them. They didn't have a contract ready, but we sent them to the AFC and we sent them to the Jets. We would not send a Hassan Reddick to a team that can possibly knock us out the playoff. No, you don't do that. So that was the idiotic move of this. But at the same time, outside looking in, I somewhat get what Jerry Jones is doing. It's like, bro, like, we not winning anyway. Now, will they be better? I don't think so. You got to see what they do with them picks as time go on. But Micah Parsons to the Packers is just, you just made a team in the conference better. Now, will they knock the Eagles out? Nah, I don't think so. But you made them more competitive. You made them good enough to knock you out for the next couple years. That's what you did. So I don't know, man. Jerry Jones is a crazy one. I had to get my reaction to what's going on. And I even forgot to even talk about Michael. Come on, man. He been on your team for like years, and you still calling him Michael. Like, come on, you just gonna disrespect the dude's name. I don't care. This is an Eagles fan reaction to what's going on. The link will be in the description to the full interview of what Jerry Jones had to say about Micah Parsons. But this is Eagle Al, man.